Coach, tell us what your lineup is today.
Yeah, we're going 11-7.
Who comes out up?
Paul.
What is kind of there's pros and cons, obviously, to the 7 defenseman format. Could you maybe walk us through what makes sense for you to use 7D?
Well, I've done it for years. I didn't do it much the last 2 years here. Before that, I did it tons. I love it because, first of all, the NHL is a lot about the defensemen activated now, so they get tired much faster. They're being asked to go up and down the ice a lot. They're being asked to pinch a lot more than before, which means that they wear out faster. So that's one good thing with having 7. The other thing is it gives you the opportunity to get a specialist of some kind, whether it's a power play specialist or a penalty kill specialist. With our group, more specifically, I think the fact that we've got new guys, young guys, Yaros is be a rookie, and Lajoie and those guys, Chabot's young. Harper's relatively new in the league also. It gives you the possibility in the game to see which guys are more apt to do the job and get more versatility. It also sometimes helps you with your forwards because it creates a hole that you fill with your better players, so you don't really have a fourth line anymore.
Might you've gone that road even if you didn't have the injuries?
Yeah, I could have, definitely. Yeah. I always keep that in mind. Whenever I can, I do it.
You said Paul as in Nick Paul, not Paul Carey.
No. Paul Carey's playing, yeah. Nick Paul is not playing.
We tend to focus a lot on goaltending and, when you're giving up a lot of goals and then you're playing your own zone. In the neutral zone, how would you assess your own team's play in that?
It depends. It depends what neutral zone you're talking about. A rush? You're talking about a neutral zone coverage? Are you coverage off a rush or coverage off the opponent's regroup? That's not the same thing.
So I guess I'm just wondering, like when the other team has the puck, they're coming through the neutral zone. Are you happy with the way your team is defending the neutral zone?
Offer neutral zone coverage off their regroups. Yes, we're fine. It's off their rushes that we're not. We can have a talk about that after if you want. But off the rushes, we did a very poor job last game. Our third man was diving in. Our defensemen were not reading that the third man was diving in. Created 2-on-1s, 3-on-2 opportunities for the opponent, and we didn't sort well after the red line. So there's the beginning of the rush, and there's the end of the rush, and after the red line, it's a really important moment to sort rather than chase and pressure, and we didn't do that very well. So we didn't have the numbers as much as we would have wanted to, and we didn't sort well. So that we got to clean up. That'd be the number one thing we want to clean up today.
What kind of contribution did you have for the playing players here?
Oh my goodness! I mean, he was a solid person. That he's an older guy that had been around. The old style, if you'd like to say, the old style leadership that you don't have much of anymore, which helps you sometimes push either a few players of the group. He was a guy that was very professional, extremely professional. Like one of the most professional players I've ever met. Always there at the right time and doing the right things to get his body prepared. People saw his toughness, but I saw the other side where he was a good person to talk to that always wanted to do the right thing. So we definitely wish him the very best where he is right now, him and his family.
Coach, just Lajoie progression, what you've seen, obviously lots to lately so far.
Well, him and I guess pretty much all the other young guys are progressing well, so that's very positive. But him particularly, I think he's always had poise with the puck, but to be able to do it at the NHL level and playing with the top players for the opposing team, he played with CC. The CC has to be an anchor this year and take on a much bigger role. He's not here today. Him and Formanton and Zinger, that's a lot of speed we're missing today. But I think for Lajoie, his hockey sense is terrific. His poise is great with the puck. But I think what he's able to do the last 2 years was to get himself ready at the NHL level because he's able to have a great stick one-on-one. He's not a big guy, so he has to play a lot of his one-on-ones with his stick, his gapping. Is recovering, so he's been doing that terrific. Like he smells the play way ahead of time. That's why he's there, offensively and defensively. So that's hockey sense, and a lot of people have trouble evaluating hockey sense, but really what it is evaluating spaces on the ice and time and space, and he's terrific at evaluating time and space, whether offensively or defensively.
white column might affect a player for you?
Well, he's what we've always projected he would be. He's going to be a hard-nosed, reliable center eventually, being able to take face-offs on a consistent basis, and probably eventually be able to play against the top lines. That's what we're projecting, and somebody that will be able to produce offensively. But we're not talking, the production of a superstar, and that's why sometimes I find it hard that people put these numbers on young players just because they're first-round picks. Knowing that 40% of first-round picks are never becoming NHL players, and then besides the top end NHLers, the rest of the first-rounders become good, solid NHLers, and if you've become that, that's quite an accomplishment in life. And I think we forget that, and I think right now that's important that a player like him focus on becoming a solid NHL player rather than trying to follow numbers or the stigma of a first-round pick. I've seen that too many times, and I think we've talked about that together. And he's being very focused on what makes him a solid hockey player, and he's a two-way guy, and that's what he is, and that's what he's going to become. And I'm sure with the character and the work ethic that he's got, he's going to get there.
All right. There's still on data.
No, not today. If there was, I would have loved to have any of those three guys in the lineup. They're big parts of our team, and Formenton has brought us so much speed, and part of the reason why we're able to play, the main reason why we're able to play an up-tempo game is because you got up-tempo players. If you don't have up-tempo players, you can't play an up-tempo game. So today is one of those adversity days where Dzingel, skates like the wind, Formenton, who skates like the wind, and Ceci, who's also a fast player, are out of the lineup. It's gonna be a little tougher to be as fast-paced as we normally are the last game. But it doesn't change what we're trying to do.